Hi Scrappy friends, back again. Are you ready for another page? I'm doing another one with the May Hip Kit Club kit, and I have this picture of my kids with a clown at the circus, and I just thought that that polka dot print or that dotted watercolor print paper in the kit was going to be perfect. I mean, look at the dots on my daughter's shirt. And just their clown noses, and it just goes so awesome. So I was so excited to use this piece of paper with this photo. I may have dressed my daughter in that shirt on purpose for the circus. I may have. Okay, so I don't want to use too much of it because the photo is already kind of busy with all the colors and the different things going on. I mean, it's a circus, of course it's going to be busy. So I'm just going to use a small strip of it, and I want my photo to stand out a little bit more, so I'm going with the darker navy photo mat there. And I'm going to balance the design by putting a little strip on the left hand side. I've been tearing my papers a lot lately, and it's a technique I haven't done in a while. In the past, I don't know, out of the past 10 layouts I've done, I think like 4 of them I have been tearing the paper instead of doing some straight cuts or, different edges. So I like the way that the torn paper looks. So I'm bringing in some of the little strips I tore off the polka dot paper. The other side of them was kind of that aqua teal color. So I just used the strips I ripped off and added them along the edges as well. I wanted to use this pink paper. Well, I thought I wanted to use this pink paper, and I knew I was going to do circles. So I wanted to do 3 circles, and here's why. When I scrapbook and I look at a photo, I try to use the photo itself to help inspire my design. So if the photo is about, I don't know, I did a photo a couple weeks ago, it was about hiking. So I used like a design that I thought was like a compass rose pattern. I did a video on that. When I was thinking of circus, I was thinking of a 3-ring circus. So I decided I wanted to use 3 rings or 3 circles on my page. And that's where the design came from. And I do that a lot. Try to use, again, the theme of my photo to help inspire my design. I did another one a couple weeks ago where the kids were eating ice cream, and I wanted to use triangles because I was thinking of ice cream cones and was thinking of triangles. So anyway, that's how I mentally start my design process when I'm scrapbooking. So I'm going through the ephemera pieces here and all the other bits in the kit and trying to decide what I want to add. And again, I didn't want to add too much stuff because it was a real busy photo and with some real busy papers. And you'll see that I decided to go with the other side of that pink star paper. I cut out the circles, and then I decided to go with the other side. That was a jelly bean soup paper because I thought that the colors in there were just pretty and fun and not too busy that they didn't overwhelm the photo. I also absolutely love this triangle paper, and when I first saw it, I really wanted to fussy cut out some triangles and use them in design. And I haven't done a banner in quite a while on a page, and I thought that with the circus idea that a banner would be fun. So I cut out a whole bunch of the different colors of triangles, and I'm going to make a little banner out of them. I'm trying to make sure I have a balance of all the colors and putting them in the right order to kind of balance the thing that was really bugging me about the photo was the bright yellow hair of the clown, so I wanted to make sure I had could create a visual triangle with the yellow there between the hair and the 2 triangles in the banner. So this is pretty much the basic design of the page, and I am going to go back through because I felt it was too, despite all the colors in there now, I thought it was too kind of white on the left-hand side. So I'm going to go back in and add some paint and mist here in a little bit. Before I do that, I'm going to actually make this banner, and I'm going to try this fabric fuse glue, which is from Thermoweb. I have used this on fabric projects before, and it is awesome for gluing fabric pieces to each other. And it just, the fabric adheres super quick. And this actually helps. It dried pretty quickly and adhered the paper to the twine pretty fast. So I was happy trying that out, and I will definitely use that again for ribbon or twine that I want to glue down. And I kind of was just pushing the paper down over the twine to kind of give it a little bit of dimension. And you can see already it's pretty dry. I loved the way that that banner just curved like that naturally right on the page. And I try to keep that natural curve of the banner and the way it fell there. Okay, so if you have watched any of my process videos, you know that I completely lay everything out and I hardly ever glue anything down until I am certain that I have everything where I want it to be. So look at my hair. Oh my goodness. I have a fan going, so that's why it's going all over the place. It looks so silly. Oh my gosh. I'll have to keep it slicked back better so I don't have all the little flyaways in the video. Okay, so I had just outlined my banner in black pen, and to make it stand out a little bit more because I wanted, the shape wasn't popping off for me, but outlining it made it pop off a little bit more. So I'm going to paint with some mists, and I'm just going to use some white gesso on the background with my little Pampered Chef scraper. I have so many of those because I have so many Pampered Chef pans, and this is a great way to use it. I also use it like if I'm like doing modeling paste or any kind of paint through a stencil. It works awesome. And I use it to take off the little bits of paper from my cameo mats when I'm done. Okay, so I just sprayed some mist on my craft mat, and I'm using teal and seafoam from Heidi Swap, and they have a really pretty shimmer when they dry. This one took forever to dry. I don't know why. Maybe I used too much water in there, but I like using a paintbrush to do this kind of technique and just move the paintbrush around, mix some colors with a lot of water. And my paintbrush was really soaked with paint, so I just held it up in the air and squeezed it, and some big drops of the color dropped out onto the page. Once that was dry, I wanted to wait for it to dry so that the pink didn't mix with the blue, although I guess that would have looked pretty. I'm going back through with, I think that's Primrose, and then this is Coral, and just adding some drops of that to the background. So anyway, I was saying I don't glue anything down until the very last step, and because I get really, I guess, OCD about making sure everything is in the exact right spot. So I guess I'm happy with this. I'm going to start gluing everything down. My paper is a little warped there, but that doesn't really bother me too much. The only thing about that is it's kind of hard to photograph when it warps a little bit, but once I get it in the page protector, it turns out fine. So I'm distressing the edges of these circles. I just love doing that to all of my edges to give them a little dimension and texture in the background. And there again, I'm just making sure I don't want to use the pink side because you never know. Because once I added that paint in the background, I could have changed my mind, but I kept the colored side. So I wanted to go back through again and add some more outlining to those triangles with a white pen, and I use a white Signo ball pen, and I tried to do the first two, and don't you know, my pen ran out, and I did not have a backup. I usually have a backup. So I searched and searched and finally found this other white gel pen. I don't think it worked as well as the white Signo pens do, but I mean, it worked for my purposes, I guess, on this page, but I think the Signal ones work a lot better than the other brands, in my experience. So I knew I wanted to do some stitching on this page, so I'm going to glue down my circles and then stitch over them. By the way, that liquid glue is also a new liquid glue from Thermoweb. It's their mixed media liquid glue. It's very similar to the Scotch. A lot of people use the Scotch Quick Dry, which I actually use more than anything, but I wanted to give this glue a shot because obviously I do design for the Thermoweb team and I love all of their products and I really like this glue. It doesn't dry as fast as Quick Dry, but that's actually a benefit because that Quick Dry one dries so quickly that if you do put something down, it's kind of hard to rip it up. So that Thermoweb one does dry pretty quick, but not as fast as the Quick Dry, again, which is a good thing. I liked that Oh What Fun die cut better than the one that said hi, but I didn't like the shape of it as well. But I thought it was, I end up with the one that says Oh What Fun just because I thought it was more fitting for my page. Okay, so I just did some wonky circle stitching around my circles, my paper circles. It was a little funky, but it's all right because a lot of it's covered up. So I added on another little piece of twine on the left end of that banner because the other piece wasn't quite long enough and I wanted the twine to kind of like curl around a little bit. So I added a longer piece on that end. And you'll see I cut out a title there from the cut file from the free cut file that goes with the kit for that month, for May. You'll notice that first one I had on there was just plain white, and I didn't think it popped off enough. So I used my sketch pen and did an internal offset of the words of that cut file, which I did a video of, and now that I'm talking about it, I've realized I forgot to include it in this video, but that's okay. So I did an internal offset, created an internal line, sketched that, and then cut it out. And I was trying to draw in some of the lines that got missed or just weren't thick enough, and I totally messed up. I put the line in the wrong space between the U and the G in the word laugh. So I don't do this on camera, but off camera I cut another one out, and you probably can't tell the difference now in this video, but you could definitely tell the difference close up. So I had to cut another one, sketch and cut another one out. So I added a couple enamel dots, the little heart by the title, the date on a little label. I have a drawer for all these little labels that I did use the print and cut feature. And I keep a little drawer of those labels right next to my scrap space because I like to use them all the time. On a whim, I picked out these glasses from the wood veneer, Jelly Bean Soup wood veneer kit, and I added an enamel dot for a nose. I thought that was really fun, really cute little embellishment to add. So there it is. All finished with fun banners and lots of colors, a bright, happy page. Thanks again for watching. Have a great weekend.